So the exit polls look as if the Conservatives have made a very strong move towards a much bigger majority in government this year. Do you agree?
Well, certainly the exit polls look very encouraging. It's still very early in the evening, but I think the exit polls show what we've been hearing here in Shrewsbury ourselves, which is that people are fed up with the gridlock, the paralysis that has taken place in the House of Commons. They voted for Brexit. They expect Brexit to be delivered. This was a seismic decision by the United Kingdom. Over 17.4 million people voted for Brexit, and they expect that decision to be implemented. And I think that many Labour voters have voted for the Conservative Party this time. They've lent their support to the Conservative Party because they realise that only with a majority government can this be delivered. Also, I think they have voted Conservative because they realise that we have led a strong economy. Unemployment down from 8% down to below 4%, low interest rates, low inflation, and we've reduced the annual deficit. And many people realise that although they want more funding for public services, that funding has to be done not on borrowed money, but from the strength of the economy. And they can only have better public services if the Conservative government continues to maintain and promote and build a strong economy, not on borrowed money as Mr Corbyn was proposing. Mr Corbyn promised to solve all of the problems of our country, but it was all going to be predicated on borrowed money. We already owe £1.5 trillion in foreign debts. We spend £50 billion a year on debt interest. They don't want that. They want us to run a balanced budget, a sensible budget, which is making sure that the United Kingdom lives within her means.
And as for the local situation, too early to say?
Too early to say. It's looking relatively positive so far from what we've seen, but we're not counting our chickens at the moment. And as the MP for Shrewsbury for the last 14 years, we have worked very hard to try to talk to people about local issues, whether it's to do with Future Fit, which is very important for our local hospital, an investment of £312 million, whether it's the North West Relief Road that we've secured, or whether it's the change to the funding formula to ensure that Shropshire schools get a fairer share of funding in comparison with the national average, which we haven't done so far. We've worked on that very successfully, and that's why I think the people of Shropshire have voted Conservative again.
Thank you.
A good result in any event. We've worked incredibly hard here over 7 years to establish a Conservative presence, because Telford people are hard-working, decent people who are always, in my view, small c Conservatives in terms of their aspirations and ambitions. So it's fantastic that a 7-year journey has culminated in a result like that here in Telford, that many people would have said would never have happened back in 2015. I was always told, you're never going to win in Telford. Why don't you just play it safe, put in a little bit of work, and then go and do a safe seat somewhere else another time. But I always believed that Telford wanted the freedom to vote Conservative and to have that choice. So I am really, really delighted that that is what their choice has been tonight. Of course, we have to factor in the Brexit element and the national picture, but also there is a local element of having built a reputation, a brand, a belief that as their MP I will fight for them, and I'm just very, very proud, of course, to have the honour of continuing to represent Telford people.
And what do you... You've kind of gone through it there, but how much of a part do you think Brexit played in that victory, do you think?
I think Brexit has played a huge part in the national picture, and of course that has impacted here, where we had a very high Brexit Leave supporting vote in 2016. And I think that residual anger is still there, because people voted Leave because they felt they weren't being listened to. There is no doubt about that. And in the subsequent 3.5 years, people still didn't listen to them. And there is absolutely no doubt that it would have been very, very difficult for the Labour Party here to win on a platform of being neutral on an issue that people had spoken on quite clearly at a referendum and had not had that instruction implemented.
Fantastic. In terms of I guess this is now Conservative safe seat, would you say?
Well, there's no such thing as a safe seat. What I would really love is that the local council, which is strong Labour, would respect that result, and that we could now work together in a much more conciliatory fashion than we have in the past. As a tight marginal, there was always a constant battle between the council and a Conservative MP. That must stop now, and I believe with a result like that, if you respect democracy, that the MP, the voice of local people, will be treated as the representative, and that the council will now work collaboratively and constructively with me to further Telford's interests, because in a marginal, constantly battling, constantly fighting too much party politics, that I hope we can now set to one side and have a very different relationship moving forward now that it's a strong Conservative politics.
Okay. And what are your main ambitions for the coming Parliament, for Telford?
Well, I think January Brexit must be done, and that clearly will now happen because there is a strong majority in the Parliament for Brexit to now happen. There will be much more discipline in Parliament, and I think we'll be able to see many of the manifesto promises delivered on, and I want to see that. Quite clearly, the fight for our A&E and our Women and Children Centre will go on. We have a legal challenge pending that is now in place, and I will be proceeding with that one. I also want to ensure we do deliver on the promised child sexual exploitation investigation. That has still not really got underway, although we have a fantastic chair in place. And then, of course, most importantly for jobs is business and skills, and we do have to continue to invest in Telford skills so that we can bring to Telford those very high-skilled advanced manufacturing jobs that we are now getting a reputation for having, and that has got to be Telford's future in terms of our contribution to the West Midlands economy.
I'd also, and most of all, like to thank the residents of the Wrekin who once again have put their faith and trust in me and returned me for a fifth general election with an improved and increased majority. Thank you to the people of the Wrekin. And we don't know what, of course, the national picture will be this evening, but so far the signs are good. And if the Conservatives are returned with a working majority and a large majority, I think that as individual members of Parliament and as a government, we should treat that majority with respect and humility, and recall that power is only ever loaned to members of Parliament and only ever loaned to governments.
Your reaction to the victory must be very good.
Very humbled and delighted. We can now get Brexit done, deliver on the people's priorities of the NHS, education and local policing, and other priorities, defence jobs, manufacturing, and having a government that represents the interests of the rural counties like Shropshire, but also recognising the needs of urban and semi-urban areas.
What do you put the victory down to?
I think people wanted their voice heard. Just one moment. People wanted their voice heard. They felt they were being ignored. Conservatives promised to deliver on the referendum results. And I think this was not just about a Brexit election, but it was an election for one nation conservatism and giving a working majority in order to deliver on the people's priorities, the NHS, education and policing. Is that okay? I'm going to go now. Is that all right? Is that all right? Give me a ring tomorrow. Yeah, thank you.